Hello everyone. So I have with me the man of the moment, Yagya Chandak, who has secured AIR2 in CA Inter. So welcome Yagya. And पहले तो अपना जो cliched question है कि how is it feeling and अभी has it sinked in and how are your emotions? Take us through
First of all,
from when
thank
the
you so much,
president
sir.
called.
Thank you so much, sir, first of all. And yes, the feeling is yet to sink in. I'm still in my dreams. I mean, I cannot even still believe what has happened yet. So still I'm digesting the fact that I have got AI too.
Chalo, but it's thankfully not a dream, and you've managed to kind of crack it. So many congratulations for your
Thank
fabulous
you, sir.
achievement. And Yagya has been our student for CA Inter Advanced Accounting on Google Drive. तो यार मेरे को एक बात बताओ, आपने इंटर सीए पे यूजुअली मोस्ट स्टूडेंट्स डू प्रिफर फेस टू फेस अटेंड क्लासेस एटसेट्रा, तो आपने ये रिकॉर्डेड का डिसीजन कैसे लिया एंड हाउ डिड यू डिसाइड टू गो फॉर रिकॉर्डेड इंडिविजुअल सब्जेक्ट वाइज?
Okay. So, sir, I had my brother to guide me in this. Actually, he went to an offline coaching during his CA inter. So, he told me that in offline coaching, he did not find some subjects to up to the mark. And hence, he told me that you study from the best faculties all over India and choose different lectures. He told me, yes, it would be difficult to completely sit online at one couch and just watch the laptop for 7 to 8 hours every day, but he told me if you have the discipline and if you are consistent enough, you can achieve it. So I took this gamble to have the online lectures, and then I chose it.
That's really good. And yeah, you scored 19 accounts, advanced accounts. I'm pretty sure if I were to write the paper, मेरे को भी 90 नहीं आता था. How did you crack 90?
So to be honest, advanced accounting was my second worst paper
Second
after
worst?
FMSM.
Okay.
Yes,
अरे बाप रे.
because there were some very tricky questions. In fact, I remember there was this one question called from inventory AS2, but actually they gave it from the final module in the AS2 that net realizable value, and I could not do it. So, and there were many concepts like that, small concepts. In amalgamation also, I did some mistakes, and in that dividend question also, I did some mistakes. But even I don't know how I got 90, but yes, I practiced a lot. I did advanced accounting at least 5 to 6 times for revision purposes,
Okay.
and yes, I'm happy that I got 90.
Chalo, that's great. That's great. And वैसे there are a few things that are obviously outside, जैसे हम उसको normal loss बोल देते हैं. So
Correct.
but nevertheless, so you said you practiced 5 to 6 times. So
Yes, sir.
okay, and that is particularly for accounting, या फिर for subjects in general you did
No, no.
multiple revisions?
Okay. So, sir, generally, except DT and costing, I practiced every subject almost 4 to 5 times because I knew एक बार पढ़ने से तो we cannot click it, right? अपने को click नहीं होगा. तो I knew that I have to do multiple revisions and I have to cover the entire syllabus comprehensively. So that's why I thought कि let's do it at least 4 to 5 times, including that 1.5 day revision, so that it makes me really robotic in the sense, because when you are writing the exams, you don't have much time to think. It's 3 hour paper and you have to solve 100 marks paper. So if you have a good practice, then you can write the paper very fast. So that was my approach for that.
Okay, okay. And for accounting, did you practice MCQs separately, or how did you tackle MCQs? This is the first attempt
So
at MCQs came in.
So actually, sir, for the MCQ part, I referred to ICI BOS portal. They had uploaded the MCQs there because it was
Hmm.
the first attempt, right?
Hmm.
So I only referred those MCQs and the module MCQs which were there in the ICI module illustration part, and
Okay,
that's it. And I solved some of the MCQs from our app as well, and not more than that.
okay, okay, fair enough. And the other parts, uh, so the descriptive you referred what materials?
So for descriptive, I referred to the coaching material that you provided to me. And other than that, I referred to the ICI SM so as to ensure that nothing is left.
Hmm.
And that's it.
Okay, okay. And that was kind of overall sufficient.
Yes, sir. It was sufficient enough.
And आपने उसमें भी when you did those multiple revisions, did you do pen and paper practice?
So, sir, if I would say in the first two times, I actually wrote everything and did everything written. But
Yeah.
from the third revision in accounting standards, I did everything orally because accounting standards, in my opinion, was more the questions were more of a theory type in our study material as well. So I just read that. I did that orally. And for the amalgamation, like big chapters, amalgamation, cash flow, final accounts, I did everything written. Like I had selected the questions which I had to revise multiple times, so I did that.
Okay, okay, fair enough. And so just run me through your day, yeah, because generally 5 to 6 times is, I mean, it's superhuman, okay? So how did you run me through your average day? You were in college also, right?
Yes, sir. So I was in HR college,
Hmm.
so they were very cooperative. The attendance was not a big issue, to be honest, for me.
Okay.
So that helped me a lot.
So how would your regular day look like? Let us say during the last 3 months, how would your regular day look like?
Okay, so actually during the last 3 months, I had my classes pending. So in the morning, like for 3 to 4 hours, I used to watch classes, and then I took at least half an hour break, and then I went to a particular place to study there.
Okay.
And then I would at the morning I would start with audit. Then in the afternoon, when I would feel dizzy and sleepy, I would take advanced accounting because that was my escape from everything. Like accounts was the fun subject to learn.
Okay.
And in the evening, I used to study. In the starting, I used to study DT or IDT, whichever deemed fit for me. And so I always had this target that every day I have to complete one accounting standard in that 2 hour slot, and that was sufficient enough for me. And in the later parts, when I was done with DT, IDT, and audit as well, I increased the hours for accounting, and then I started revising accounts for at least 4 hours a particular day. So roughly the regular day would be of 8 to 10 hours, not more than that. Effectively, it would be of 8 to 10 hours only.
Okay. Okay. So you would have effective 8 to 10 hours of studying. That includes maybe practice, revision, everything for uh, around 10 hours.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. And did you specifically plan out things for the last 1.5 days? Because a lot of students, not necessarily for accounts because it is the first paper, but for the other papers, did you kind of make notes, shortlist content to be referred on the last 1.5 days?
So, sir, to be honest, personally speaking, I did not, use any sticky notes or make my own short notes as such because I believe that when you are studying with a particular book, stick to that book till the last of the day. Because if you switch to another material or maybe your own material at the end, you will not get comfort while reading it. So I had done revisions from a particular book in every subject multiple times. So I had a very good command over the book. I knew what concepts were there on what page, and I could easily, get go through the pages. And hence I did not change any material. I did not make my own notes as well. I just referred to the respective faculty's notes only.
Correct, correct. वो एक photographic memory बन जाता है and becomes easier to kind
Correct.
of reproduce. Okay, okay. And how did you, I mean, while preparing, were you on social media, off social media? How did you manage distractions?
So, sir, when my inter classes, online classes started, that time I was, of course, a little bit active on social media. So, actually, to control myself, what I did was I had deleted Instagram from my mobile, but I used to refer it from Chrome because Google Chrome interface is so bad that you don't only feel like using it.
चलो ये तो pro tip हो गया.
And that kept me so controlled that I did not use Instagram in a go more than 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's it. Only 5 minutes in a particular time. And roughly on an average, in a particular day, I would use social media for about an hour, not more than that. Of
Okay.
course, I won't say completely detached from social media. That's not practically possible, at least in today's time. You should have a good control over it. And I didn't have any problem of addiction, particularly on social media. So I was in proper control.
Okay, that's good. अभी तो आपने वापस install कर दिया क्या नहीं?
Yes, yes, yes. The day my exams got over, I installed Instagram.
Chalo, acha. Okay, and during those, during those 3.5 months, so generally, I mean, with all due respect, foundation is also a challenging course. But before foundation, students generally वो 80s or 90s में ही by and large होता है. So there would be phases probably in those last 2 or 3 months where you know that you are kind of hit by a course like Inter CA, which is very challenging. So how did you manage those ups and downs, maybe during those last 2, 3 months, where uh, generally one feels a little down on some bad days? How do you pull yourself back?
So of course, everybody has their own breakdowns. That is for sure. That is deemed in CA. It's given in CA. But whenever I used to feel low, I just used to imagine my parents' faces, and that motivated me a lot. Like I have to do this for them. So
Correct.
that used to keep me motivated a lot. And I guess if we are feeling low enough at a particular day, we must take sufficient breaks. That's not an issue. So I still remember one day I had gone to one place, and after that, the next day, I could not even wake up from my own bed. I was so much tired, and I don't know what happened that day, but I could not even wake up. So that day, I just took a particular break, and I thought I just decided I won't study anything that day. And it was then the next day, it again got normal. Then, and everything just went on like clockwork. And I still remember in April, I guess, yes, in April only, there was this one day where I was so burnt out literally that I just came home early from the place where I studied, and I just watched a particular movie to refresh myself.
Okay.
So if you're sometimes feeling low enough, just divert yourself for some time from the studies, and then you will automatically get the motivation to get back.
Okay, okay. So maybe taking a few breaks if you're feeling down, but ensuring that वो break ज़्यादा लंबा ना चले, maybe half a day, and then you are back on track, hopefully.
Correct.
Okay, okay. And during the papers, काफी बच्चों को even writing speed का issue होता है. They are unable to complete the papers. Did you write enough test papers, or how do you manage the writing speed and time management?
So, personally speaking, my writing speed was quite efficient and good enough right from the starting of my academics. So,
Okay.
I did not have much issues with that. But yes, I would suggest to have a good writing speed, we should solve at least two mock papers. I solved both the mock papers of the ICI, which were provided to us at the BOS portal, and I solved them like in a proper exam format, 3 hours sitting, 15 minutes reading time. I did that, and I self-evaluated them myself. And then the RTP questions, which were a little bit complex, I also solved them by writing. So to have a good writing practice, we must solve mocks, 1 or 2 mocks. That's enough, I guess.
Okay, okay. And you said you were going to a particular place to study. So was it like a library where you do group study, or maybe what is the type of
Okay,
study that you preferred?
so actually, sir, there was my teacher, Mr. Himanshu, sir. He actually taught me till CA Foundation, and I studied from him only till CA Foundation. So in inter only, he told me that you can come at my classes to
Okay.
study. So he provided me a separate room there to study, and like literally for 2 months, I was studying there only.
That's
So thanks to
nice.
him.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So, but you used to study alone only. So you would have friends
Yes,
who
yes.
were doing group study, a study partner where you kind of compare, or not necessarily compare, kind of keep a check on your targets, or everything was, I mean, as per your study individually only.
So I had 1 or 2 friends in my connections with whom I used to chit chat about the studies like तुम्हारा कितना हुआ मेरा कितना हुआ. That's it, and not more than that. And personally I do not prefer group study because वो time pass थोड़ा ज्यादा हो जाता है. मतलब मैं तो time pass कर लूंगा फिर अगर मैं group study कर लूंगा तो.
Correct,
So
correct.
इसलिए I used to study alone only, and to have a quick chit chat about what are you doing, अब तुम्हारा कितना हो गया, कितने revisions हो गए, क्या test दे रहे हो या नहीं. तो आई हैड फ्यू ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स only, नॉट मोर देन दैट. ज्यादा फिर बात नहीं करता था मैं उस टाइम
करेक्ट
पे.
करेक्ट करेक्ट तो जैसे डाउट्स वगैरह आते हो सो हाउ डिड यू मैनेज डाउट्स इन जनरल
So actually whenever I used to have any doubts, talking about advanced accounting, I used to give my voice notes to you, and you always replied. Like, of course it took some time because you were also busy, but you were always replying to me, so that was clear. And for other subjects, whenever I used to have any doubts, I used to ask to my brother only,
Okay.
because I know, I mean, he can solve those doubts because he's a senior to me. So I used to talk to him about that.
So elder brother साथ में होगा, that's like a very very good advantage, huh?
Yes, it's a blessing in disguise, to be honest. I mean, I don't know what I could have done without him. So
Correct,
it's a
correct.
blessing in disguise.
Correct, correct. Chalo, very nice. It was really uh, good talking to you. Any final tips that you would like to give to aspiring chartered accountants who are giving the November, I mean, the September or the January attempt? Abhi to change ho gaya, I think, at least at inter level. Any tips, closing tips that you would like to give?
So I would just say that I always believe in this philosophy that hard work is the only smart work. You cannot always have shortcuts to everything. So just keep on doing things, go with the flow. And I would suggest whenever you are starting with your classes, do parallel revisions, because if we believe that we will cover the entire course in those 3 to 4 months, that's not humanly possible. So whenever you start with your classes, make sure whatever you are studying that particular day, you revise it the day itself. And when you watch the lectures next day, make sure that you revise the previous day's learnings, like for at least 5 to 10 minutes, and then proceed with the next part. So cumulative revisions and parallel revisions help a lot. It helped me personally a lot.
Okay. Okay. So you mean you watch the lecture and then you revise the same thing the next day?
Correct. So I watched the lectures today itself. I revised that thing the same day itself. And
Okay.
then next day, before learning new things, I used to revise
Okay.
that once again. So
Oh,
cumulative revisions help a lot.
अरे बाप रे. Okay, okay. So that really helped in probably developing that
Correct.
robotic process जो आपने बोला था, and photographic memory जो आपका है. Okay.
Correct.
Okay, okay. तो ये आपने
I
सारे
still remember I
subjects
could,
में.
yes, sir, sub subjects. And I still remember I could literally have an image of law and audit in my eyes, like ये यहाँ पे है, ये यहाँ पे है.